And welcome everyone, Stormy Sensei here. It's Final Fantasy Friday. We're going to be playing some Final Fantasy XVI for you. We are still trying to finish this before the end of the year. I think we're pretty close. Alright, where we last left off, we had stormed the castle, defeated Ultima, and shattered the final crystal. But then Ultima kind of gathered all the ether of the world and made a floating castle.
Origin, he called it. But the origin of what?
What is it? It's the end, is what it is.
So pessimistic. I'll destroy it after I've finished doing all the side quests in the area.
Did you know that it was I who convinced His Imperial Highness to join you in stone here? All right, it may be that he was of a mind to do so already, but it was I who told him where you'd be.
It's not often our entire merry flock returns home to roost at once. I expect I should be wishing you good luck.
There's something about it. I feel like it's calling to me.
Well, that's not good. I wonder if since it's like gathering ether into the area, I wonder if it's specifically calling bears.
I have wronged so many. Ruined thousands of lives. I did not deserve to be saved. But save me, you and your brother did. Your uncle too forgave me my sins. Offered me a chance at redemption. Yours is a fine family, Ifrit. Cherish it.
You don't know what you're talking about. The odor is what gives chances to it. What do you mean I can't have another loaf?
You've had 9 already.
Always one more job to do, isn't there, Clive?
There are even more songs now. I guess as you continue on with the story, you get more songs. I guess it does make sense.
Clive, if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. Is that all?
Trouble with your gear, or fretting about us guys? Unless that is. What's that for you, dear?
We can now get Ouroboros. The Circle of Heaven +1 does just about as well. So +5, +7. And Defender +2 actually will put me above my current weapon. But if I hold off just a little bit longer, then I can get +50, +50. And I think that I will. Because no point in spending my craft on cheap stuff, you know? Sons of Ouroboros is still better than the best thing that I can get from there.
Fine.
There was a new missive for me to read here. New arcade mode mission or two. New stages to replay. Should probably try one of those one of these days.
What do you mean I can't have another loaf?
You've had 9 already.
Is this the last of the Mothercrystals, do you think? Or could there be others buried out there?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. We know that there were 8 Mothercrystals on Valisthea, but there could be more in the world.
There's not like a fuck-off crystal hanging over the horizon to sour your ale.
This game is so wild. Like, back to their origin, like he literally made the Final Fantasy Crystal of Light that's been as part of the game's logo since like the very beginning.
Tom said you destroyed all the Mothercrystals. No, he didn't. There's still the black one up in the sky.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more
I
resilient
know
to the
about
effects
this
of
one
ether than
already.
most of them?
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. There is a rather fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you.
Barnabas's mother? Okay. There's so many characters that are from the Outer Continent. Like, how come we don't visit them? I mean, maybe the DLC will have us visit the Outer Continent. But who is he? Oh, the Fallen. Okay, so the Fallen must actually just be Ultima. What we actually know from the last couple of times that or from Ultima's tale, is that the rest of the world mostly is completely covered in the blight, and that Valisthea is the least blight-stricken continent on the planet, if we are to believe Ultima, which maybe we can, maybe we can't. Hey there, Cheesy. I love the concept of Magitech, because Magitech is very, very important in Final Fantasy 6 and 7. And kind of in 8, they don't call them Magitech though, because magic is like not really a thing in 8. In the sense that it's more technology, like you draw it out of them and use it and equip it and junction it, compared to, you know, magic, like being born with it from Final Fantasy 6 or coming from the earth from Final Fantasy 7. Oh, okay. So they're actually thralls of Ultima. They just so happen to be covered with fallen technology because they've been in the ruins.
Study the tomes?
That's kind of cool. It would be nice to see all of the topics in the order in which we got them. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, we've actually met every... Oh, there's one person we haven't met yet. 5, 6, 7. 7 places we haven't been yet. There's 5, 6 more mysteries of the realm. We've fought every type of enemy. That's pretty cool.
You are always welcome, Clive.
Now, probably some of the stuff is only going to be unlocked once we reach level 8 of the 1,000 tomes. That's probably the final level because there were 8 Mothercrystals. 8 seems to be a pretty important number in this game. Kind of makes sense because this is Final Fantasy XVI, half of which is 8.
I did it, Sid. I made friends with all the animals in the hideaway. But you know what I'd really like?
To
My
be
own
with a human.
goblin.
No.
Or maybe a mortal or bomb. Bonus
No,
was a
get out of
big
here,
one.
kid.
That or a bander curl, but not a cactuar. They're too prickly.
If you were ever worried about the pronunciation of various Final Fantasy monsters,
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen our shelves haven't gone bare.
Yes, but how long will it last?
this game has definitely got you covered. They've pronounced pretty much everything except for a Tunberry. They've even talked about Gizal Greens.
Over until the new moon.
This place is looking real nice.
A few more of these, and the Deadlands will seem less dead.
These flowers are beautiful. Pity we have to boil them all down to make medicine.
Son, these leaves should have withered long ago.
But we found a way. Life has found a way.
I'll see that you're properly watered and manured, Martel. For as long as I'm able.
You needn't worry about the backyard, Sid. We're here, so you don't have to be.
Alright, I don't think that any of these NPCs are updating their dialogue for the rest of the game. Oh, that actually reminds me. I actually have a file that I need to update. Keep my trivia up to date and accurate.
Miss Shirley says your book's made quite an impression on the children. You've inspired them all to become writers themselves.
Is that so? We'll need to find some more parchment then.
Miss Shirley! I want to learn how to build an airship so I can fly up to the Dark Crystal and crack it.
That's very nice, Jocelyn. But perhaps you could start with your sums?
You gotta start at the beginning, you know? You can't just skip ahead to the end.
Clive, if you need the Enterprise, just say the word. As long as the word isn't fly. Just can't do that. Yet.
Yet.
That crystal certainly don't bode well. But just think of all the secrets it must hold.
Here. If you're planning on going up there, you could bring a bit back for me, could you?
I love that. We made our own ship. We're going to upgrade into our airship. It wouldn't be a Final Fantasy game without an airship. There probably is a Final Fantasy game without an airship. Let me think of one.
There's a new mother. Fussing over it won't see the hens fit.
Oh, this was the guy that was talking.
One moment you think you've freed the realm from her fate. The next, a darker one rears up to replace it. What awaits us when we finally attain release? True freedom? Or something else entirely?
Do you suppose it's magic keeping the thing afloat?
What else could it be?
All this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me.
She definitely is a hopeless romantic.
Couldn't have been easy for her making the journey from Ash. What with her belly so fat?
Oh,
You'd be surprised the lengths a mother is willing to go for her child.
Clive has already spoken for.
You nearly collapsed back there.
It's just a touch of the vapors. I'll be fine.
These skies are taking their toll on the hideaway, Clive. I can mend a broken arm, but a broken spirit is beyond my talents.
Ty's tea stopped the fits. I only hope they stay stopped.
Thank you, my lord, for taking me in. Everyone here has been so kind. It reminds me of home.
Is that Yeti? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Clive. What is it that you wish to learn? One must understand one's place in the world.
Oh, it's still on this? Were there actually... There weren't any people in Stone here, though. Oh yeah, but by that time, the city had already been lost. Its leader perished as inspired. Citizens reduced to mindless thralls, and its streets claimed by orcs and masterless beasts. That is quite sad.
Of course.
Nice. Ada is the pregnant woman, right? Yeah, okay. We haven't found out that she's an embroiderer yet. We're going on a long, long walk. He's taking me for a walk again. Master says he's still watching over us. I'll follow my master to the very end. She and my master are very close. He has a very good nose. Welcome to the pack. And you're no match for my master. He's very strong. You gotta love the thoughts of a dog on everyone. Leave my friends alone. His claws are sharper than mine. Yes, that was very true. Don't be afraid. He turned into sand too, Theodore. Oh, even though that's just a side quest, we still had that on the timeline. He thinks he's the leader, but he's not the High Cardinal. Did we ever meet the High Cardinal? Oh, we did during that side quest. Right. Because we wanted Isabel to be the leader. Oh, take care of Jill. Let's rescue Jill. He had pups too. Now we have to save her. He smells familiar. Alright, Zoltan from the smithing town. I'm sure I would have remembered if this were in the base game. This must have been with the update that came with the DLC. She's stronger than I remember. Turned into sand. Yeah, it's not quite. She stopped. We will meet again. Looks after her cubs. I think he likes dogs. He doesn't smell so strong now. Wait, he was stronger than I smelled. Yeah, he grabbed the ether and became a whole mountain. Where did he go? Oh, that's sad. own pack. She's always happy. He's a very bad man. I feel different. Yeah, this was when he first transformed. The ocean is scary. Right. Wonder if we'll see her again. I hope we do. It was kind of weird that there was like this super emotional scene with her and Jill, and then she got on a boat and left, and then we never saw her again. Oh wow, that's a lot of things to think about. Fairy image, give me treats, big puppy. That's so true. Torgal would think that. We have a new pack now. I know this is riveting gameplay, but this is so awesome. Yeah, she did. My friend and hunting partner. Hello again. You gotta love it. Presumed deceased. I think something bad happened. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh man. Poor Torgal. Now we're back to the present. Alright, that's enough of that. I very much enjoyed that. Maybe maybe at the start of every stream we'll do a walk through the timeline as one character. Maybe at the end we'll do a walkthrough as another character. Maybe it could have its own bookmark even. And then yeah, that seems appropriate, because that way we'll get to eventually see all of it, but we don't have to waste like several hours in one particular stream. Gobbermouch and Esla Walud. That was neat. I agree. That was pretty neat. Valisthea. Here's Valisthea. So it's somewhere in here. Let's find ourselves a mark. And actually do some combat for once. It's only an A rank, so it should technically be kind of easy. But who knows? Treasure chest in here, nothing but rats. Like just one goblin?
Goblin in fashion. How the hell did he cross the strait? There's more! Almost killed!
A primitive battle horn, just what I needed.
Your journey ends here.
Perfect finisher, yeah. I'm really a fan of the Zantetsuken. Alright, back to home. Pretty sure I'm still missing the final ingredient. Because the primitive battle horn is one of the things that I need for the ultimate weapon.
What do I owe the honor?
But I need...
So, will it be?
One more, yeah, I thought so. No, I'm actually missing two things. I need the orichalcum and some dark steel. I'm actually holding off on crafting the ultimate armor. Plus 7, plus 11. Compare that to plus 5, plus 7, yeah. Yeah, so I'm not crafting the ultimate armor yet because I want to... Oh wait, actually, yeah, I actually do need orichalcum for that too. So, I'm gonna get the weapon first, and then the armor. I'll probably be able to get both around the same time.
There's something about it. I feel like
It's gonna usually call the ultimate weapon. Is it? Most games, each ultimate weapon is a separate name. Like, you know, it's the Floral Scepter for Yuna in Final Fantasy X, or it's the Spirit Lance for Kimari in Final Fantasy X, or you know, Muramasa or Masamune or Rainbow Sword for Chrono Trigger.
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. One that I'd rather only tell once.
Right. All hands on deck then.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Valisthean records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well...
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canva is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archay above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we gonna manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
If only we had someone that could fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off.
We literally have 2 party members that are able to fly. Oh wait, 3.
Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Bahamut and Phoenix and Shiva.
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
Unless you've taught our chocobos how to fly, I won't be scouting this one for you, Clive. You're on your own, but not alone.
There is much to consider.
Believe me, Clive, I would fly with you to Origin, nay, to the end of the world. If I could. Alas, my fear of heights prevents me.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. Thank you for indulging an old man.
You know, that actually wasn't everyone. Karen and Blackthorn weren't in that meeting.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Go on then. Do us proud.
No one else has anything new to say, so let's just go talk to Joshua. Oh, we haven't talked to the bard yet. Chaos, that's another very important word in Final Fantasy lore. Chaos is
diverse hands are dawn is spun in crimson
Chaos is the main villain of Final Fantasy 1. So in a way, this is all kind of coming full circle.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be, but a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
Yep.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes. I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings?
Exactly.
Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Or maybe you can't fly.
Then mine will have to be stronger.
Huh?
That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
What a cool guy.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to, does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Understands what? Why isn't she coming with us? She's still able to prime.
Take as much time as you need, brother. Something tells me Ultima will wait.
As much time as I need, you say. Do every side quest in the game,
Say
you
your
say.
farewells, and let us be gone.
Back again?
Allow me to educate you.
Here's the latest information I have.
Wow, look at that. Everyone joining together to fight as one. The Alliance. Everyone in the hideaway. All to fight in the final stand versus Ultima, who thinks he's a god. I should not do this now. I'll do it later. I said one at the beginning of the stream and one at the end of the stream.
Here you are.
Study it well, Clive.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Take as long as you need, Clive. Just don't take too long, eh?
Where is Jill? Oh, she's in my... okay. I was not expecting that, honestly.
I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastport. As soon as the rebuilding work is complete, I promise to return.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the move together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Alright, side quest explosion. Yep, as I thought. Side quest explosion. Make for origin. How am I supposed to just make for origin? Just fast travel to it? Yeah, I'm just supposed to fast travel to it. There is literally no way for me to do it because I don't have a ship. But let's do all the side quests. Alright, we're gonna be side questing for the next like 2 hours probably. Alright, may as well start with in a mood. Or More Than Words is actually the name of the quest.
What is it this time, Torgal?
And for my future self, An Inconvenient Truth is the next one.
First the skies, then the crystal. What else? The advent.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen us.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
Heartache, like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long.
18 years or so.
Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal? All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Seems super dangerous to do.
It's still here. After all these years. Lots smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
Maybe for each quest that we do, we'll actually look up the thoughts about that character, or the thoughts from that character. We looked up Torgal's thoughts, and now we're doing Torgal's quest.
This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
I'm not racing anywhere. Look at all these goodies on the ground.
This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
By the way, Torgal can jump like 5 stories into the air, so don't question why he was able to climb the ladder.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix King.
He gathered it.
Did you bring these here?
He must have swam. He was just a puppy at the time.
My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up, for never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming.
Somehow, Torgal Clive is like the best relationship in an RPG that I played. Quite a touching scene that was.
I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Increases Torgal's attack potency. Oh, that's his actual name. Caval? Even the legendary king, surrounded by the realm's greatest knights and blessed by the very heavens, would have found himself hard-pressed to unite the warring tribes of ancient Valisthea. Fortunately, he had the help of his fine and trusty hound, Cabal. And that's probably the same, because we took Torgal from the northern territories. Alright, next quest. A fine hound. He probably has actually stepped in front of a raging behemoth to protect me. Alright, Vivian's up next. An inconvenient truth.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
First off, we will peer into Vivian's inner thoughts. Well, first we'll accept the quest, and then we'll peer into her thoughts, I guess.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Hippocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
I'll speak with
Back
tones.
again?
But first...
What is it that you wish to learn? I have the details here.
Vivian. Here she is. Vivian Ninetails. She wasn't introduced until this part here. So she has a lot to say here. So he wants her to read more. Welcome to my lecture as long as he can sit still. Formidable intellect. She too studies late into the night. A superlative source of first-hand evidence. He and I live by very different creeds. His conversation is limited. She's not a fan of Goots. A man well suited to administration. The first to bear that hallowed name. Battle-hardened by the name of commerce. He has the singing voice of a half-starved she-wolf. That's the ferryman, by the way. His reports are invaluable. Cole runs the side quest counter, which would be useful if I didn't have a map that just showed where the side quests were. Doris, I think, is the actually, what does Doris do? Oh, the captain of the Curse Breakers. Okay, right, I remember. I took a couple of quests from her. The famous, nay, infamous Sid the Outlaw. Sid the Outlaw's partner in crime. It is for me to read the winds of change that blow over our fair realm, is what she thinks about herself. This being's existence is as yet a matter of conjecture. A tyrant who has taken the Dominion for his own. And she doesn't have as much new stuff for everyone else. Here's Quarry. Nothing new there. Nothing new there. I mean, obviously these side characters are not going to have as interesting of thoughts about everyone else. An incorrigible child. Victorious spirit exceeds my expectations. With his death, the balance of power shifts. It's gonna be a lot faster for these side characters for sure. I wish that I could just like know that, because like, just go to this one, right? At one point in time, she had something to say about this guy. And I guess I technically could have seen that there was a line there. That rare breed, a man with whom one can hold a conversation. Her eyes say more than her lips do. I would talk to him more if he did not shun my gaze. Oscar. Who was Oscar? Oh, nephew of Rodney Murdoch. Okay. Right, right. He's the guy that stands outside my quarters, and we assigned him to go to East Pool and help with the construction, but he just like won't leave ever for some reason. I don't know why. He would spread chaos across the twins. Oh, he just reshaped this thing to move out of the way for Etta. That's just let me think about Etta. Pray that you and your child live a long and happy life. My home lies in ruins thanks to him, and you need not blame yourself. Obviously not as interesting as Torgal's. But Torgal's the main character, Vivian's a side character. There are going to be a couple of characters that we won't get with this new blast of side quests because we've already finished every quest for Isabel. Or is it Isabella? I can forget. I always forget what there is, Isabella or Isabella.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
It's a secret organization.
Secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows. emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed,
which is right now,
I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit. The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
The one in the very back. Oh, I was hoping that would be close enough, but apparently the wall stops me.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks?
Was this door locked before? Why is there so much for me to read in here?
His interests were certainly varied.
No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valisthean folk tales than the humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet conjugal spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They said sweet tooth, if they do like their kupo nuts, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, at least not remains but crumbs them come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, except for the small dark wings by which they somehow are able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. Oh, that's actually pretty good since they've never been seen before. And yet there's one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb on the top of their brow. The fact that the creature actually exists. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everyone knows the Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth. And in the case of the Moogle, the fact that they may not be so dissimilar from fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration besides the name, why is none of them Moogle? Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. You know, it's just the humans can't see them. Most of them. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to the other climes? Perhaps they were hunted to extinction? Or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden away far from human view. We gotta share that one with our Moogle. Oh, there we go. We found from a distance. Emergence of the first magic depths were mostly heralded as a gift from the gods. Blah, blah, blah. The bearer of the heavenly blessings. Yep. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals, granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind will become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous in their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power for their own structures of state, they are mistrusting of an organization led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meetings by force, which doesn't make any sense because the bearers all cast magic, so they can't really force them to, like, physically force them to do anything. They would just, you know, burn them alive or freeze them or whatever. But yeah, I guess it doesn't mean that they're prone to violence, even though they have the power to. Anyway, the church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist the persecution, and it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with the beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation and decimated the population of men and bears both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valisthean people. After the bear's last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valisthea came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, "bears are other than human," has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the Unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the Blessed to decide their own destinies.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Something tells me someone's not going to want me to leave.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
And we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book.
No,
Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
You realize you're talking to Ifrit, the Dominant. Like, I don't know how you think this is going to end for you.
Let's see, shall we?
Oh, 31.
Nice try.
I'm kind of insulted that that's the level of enemies that they sent to fight me.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about. Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable, that it can be changed, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
It's a rather rousing speech from such a minor character. I liked it.
What will it be today? truth is but a matter of belief. Alas. Well, Clive?
I am.
Naturally. I shall... I do so enjoy our little chats.
I think that the game was telling me that I have a new missive. At the very least, I have a new hunt for sure. Yeah, I have a new missive and actually a new quest even. Dion has multiple things to say to me. Gab has multiple things to say to me. Just collecting souvenirs. Making amends. This will be a good one.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
A tale to tell. I'm glad that the game was kind enough to lock Hippocrates' quest behind Vivian's, since you have to talk to Hippocrates as part of Vivian's quest, and I wouldn't want to accidentally start another quest while I was in the middle of another one.
Must we away? My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must be stopped.
He must.
I await your word.
I wonder if this is like... I almost dropped a spoiler for a game that I will stream on this channel in the future, but I won't. But there are some games where when you have a bunch of side quest companions, if you do certain side quests, then it changes whether they live at the end of that game or not. And like maybe if I just went straight to the field right now, right? Because, for example, I don't have an airship, but somehow I'm able to get to the final boss, right? But what if I do a side quest that gives us an airship? Then Dion doesn't have to transform into a dragon and storm the castle. What if, like, there's all sorts of ideas as to like, well, if I do this particular side quest, maybe you know, no one has to die, but if I don't do these side quests, then maybe like multiple people die. I'm actually done with everything in Rosaria. Oh, almost done with everything in Rosaria. there's now a new mark in the area. We'll do that after we start this quest.
Oarsman Harpocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
I'm going to step out for a moment. I need to hydrate. I'm very thirsty. I'm going to grab a bottle of water from upstairs, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I feel like it will be faster to go from here than here, but that's alright. You know, this game's distinction between town and not town. Like, I'm able to swing my sword.
This is no time to ride.
I should be able to bring Ambrosia here. I missed the treasure chest here? No way. How could I?
Let's go.
It's so dry in the winter time.
Faster! Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Too slow. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose. Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him. Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
No. It is time, then.
No. Only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself and to him how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you
Well
took
lined.
the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
That was a very good quest. Oh, there we go. Bahamut's Mercury. Reduces Gigaflare cooldown time by 6 seconds. That's pretty good. Let's see if he has anything new to say.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I well recall. He truly believed it will take forgiveness from himself. Ah, yes. Then go. Fare thee well, my friend.
Let's see if Dion has anything new to say, or maybe Dion has a new quest for us. No, not quite.
Ifrit, your resolve didn't falter.
No. Though I continue to be bewildered by fate. But I should meet with my old tutor here. The very end of the world. I thank you. With all my heart. For giving me this chance.
And I thank you for taking it.
Should like to look upon that flower once more. When I am worthy. I stand ready to leave for Origin at your word. May Griga go with us.
And see us safely home.
Oh, he is still determined
Must
to
we
die.
away? Alas. And yet... the time is nigh, Ifrit.
Let's keep up with the missives. I think that we're done with quests out of the missives. I kind of like that music. Maybe I should change the hideaway music to that. I think I have that ability. Where should my next quest be? Oh, don't think we're not quite done with that one either. Because we need to look up Harpocrates' thoughts about the people of the hideaway.
Clive. What is it that you wish to learn?
Oh, wow. He actually has a high opinion of Goots. He's a quick learner. Alright, and then after the time skip, never tire of hearing everyone's stories. Let's do what I can to help others. I shall tell our story that it might not be forgotten. Dang. Hippocrates is saying that Vivian will grow more learned with age. Like, she's already old. He's got graying hair at least, but maybe the gray hair is actually not a thing, an age thing, because Jill has had gray hair since forever. You live in all of our hearts. True that. You have fear of him even now. Reading the annals, you would think such a creature had never existed. Whatever will she think of next? Whoever would have thought it? A frost wolf like the Fenrir of old. We need fear him no longer. Wonderful. Watch over us, I pray. To Baklad and beyond. This is right before we met up with the desert hare. Not much of his opinion changes over time. Pretty soon we should get some difference though, because at some point in time, yeah, there we go. My mentor's chronicle is safe in his hand. Oh, right, because he had that book that was written by his mentor in order for him to learn about Ultima better. Yes, there we go. So now he's updated his thoughts on Ultima, thinking that he actually is a real thing. Just gonna quickly zoom to the end here to make sure that he doesn't think of anything different of these kids. Alright, so now I don't need to go to that corner anymore. Might be faster to just go into corners. Or just like go to one section and then just quickly zoom through all of history. And then just do the same in a different corner. Because that way I more quickly be able to tell that there's nothing different about it. I somehow still missed this one. Her age belies her experience. And then now we actually know about these parts here. And then this is basically present day at this point. And then Oscar, yep. You would think the Oscar would be more important to the story, given that everyone keeps on like bringing him up when he shows up to the city. But no. He's just kind of there. Now here's a face I have not seen in a long time. People of whom I am most proud. I love a good ending. He has sworn to help me expand my library. Okay. Well, maybe we'll do my uncle next, Byron.
Very good.
What a word.
No.
Yeah, that's so funny. Sid did actually say that the higher ups wouldn't be too happy about us changing the world. He clearly did not mean that high up, but yeah.
Is that right? Might be time to take a step back. And if it weren't for Sid, I know you'll do right by us, Clive.
Ah, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Come to claim your just desserts?
400 more, and then we'll get more stuff. We get the Genji gloves here. Oh, wow. Whereas my exploits have made it away to the great continent on the other side of the ocean?
Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Increase damage dealt by 5%. No, like, damage dealt by certain attacks or damage dealt by certain combos. Just damage by 5%. That might be better than my limit break stuff. Like all damage sources 5%. You could then probably combo it with something like, this is going to be probably towards the bottom. Like increase Giga player damage by 5%. So then you increase it by another 5% on top of that. And then maybe, but not even that I'm really thinking of. I'm thinking more like, maybe this as well. You could increase your limit break generation by 3% when dealing damage, but then my damage that I'm dealing is also increased, so it increases even faster. And then you can just like give another thing like lunge damage by 5%, or magic burst damage by 5%. Actually, that's actually not that. 15% is actually pretty good. Combo damage by 5%. So that's basically just basic attack damage. And increase attack potency with every precision dodge. So you definitely don't have enough to master everything in the game. You just have enough to master the 6 abilities that you would care about. The Wailing Banshee and Garnick. Garnick should be this place, right? No. Thinking about... this place? Yeah. Let's see how much more we can squeeze in the next 30 minutes or so of gameplay.
Ready, go? Yeah! Be safe.
have 1 HP. Clouded Eye is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Orchard.
Rest in peace.
Back to the hideaway. Let's see what Byron has to offer us. New missive. Definitely next stream, I definitely want to finish off, why is the Patron's Whisper available for, no, it's not the Patron's Whisper. It must be the Alliant Reports that's available with something new. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so like, it's actually not as many side quests as I thought, because we did like 4 of them just now.
Hmm? Huh.
Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here, Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are 2 key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I would have said Eugene.
I thought he was retired.
Good to know.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
I don't remember if I put down a marker. I'm gonna put on another one right now. I probably did. I'm gonna have to figure out which one is which later on.
Do you see that too?
Do you have new things to say?
Good day, Clive.
No.
Come back soon, won't you?
I've never seen Miss-El cry before. Is Theo really gone then? He's never coming back.
That's true, and we have to look after Miss-El, just like Theo looked after us.
Also not new dialogue.
There are many variations of the Semekian legend, but almost all agree that man was punished for presuming to set foot in the sanctum of the gods. Some describe it as holy, others heavenly, which is to say, of the heavens. Could it be that the baleful mass that now glowers over us is this very sanctum? Have the gods returned to pass judgment upon us once more?
We did a quest for this guy once.
Papa, what keeps it in the air? Why doesn't it fall?
Don't you go tempting fate, girl.
Yeah, something that large that could fall.
Is it?
Don't ask me.
It would probably kick up enough dust that it would block out the sun.
Just make it stop. Make it stop.
In addition to killing everyone, probably in Dalmekia, just from the impact of falling
Nothing
into the
good's
earth.
gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
For those of you that watch Marvel movies, it's basically Ultron's plan to lift a whole city up in the air and then throw it into the earth with such an impact that it would basically wipe out most humans. That's not what Ultima's plan is, but you know, if that were to fall out of the sky, it's what would happen. They're still following me? figure out how these are joining.
Stay down!
Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him. This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
I'm right.
Then
it won't.
Finish him. It's over.
It's actually kind of funny fighting like just regular humans. It actually did take a little longer than I liked. I didn't know that I had to connect to the first dancing blade hit in order to get the rest of them.
Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well,
Byron.
We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
Is he talking about the desert here?
Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Who does Clive have in mind? It has to be Byron.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Well, that's an interesting choice. I kind of see it, I guess. Quentin does have a lot of persuasive bits to him. Where's Quentin? Why is he not at Lost Wing? Oh, Lost Wing is okay. I thought that Lost Wing was more into Rosaria than Sambrek. If I didn't do Quentin's missions, would I not be able to do this mission at this point? Because presumably the town would have flooded and everyone would have died. Or they would have been ambushed by the rival judge and killed him that way. And if Quentin's not around, then who would be the one to be my diplomat here?
I made sure our fallen comrades were laid to rest. And they can rest easy, knowing that their sacrifice wasn't in vain. That justice was done. As for us survivors, well, we've just got to keep at it. Keep the family together. For their sakes.
I'd have followed Quentin to that manor if I could have done, and I'll keep following him now. Wherever that surly bastard cares to lead us.
Master Quentin needs us now more than ever.
Quentin's gonna build us new Lost Wing, and I'm gonna help.
So it doesn't look like Origin is visible from here. It's like east of the town, or maybe south. I think that it's the United Cities of Canver was actually what was raised up from the ground. Either that or Dominion, the Crystalline Dominion. I can't remember which one. Oh wait, I know which one it is because I have the full world map here. The Crystalline Dominion was raised out of the ground.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Reckon Master Quentin could argue an egg back up a hen's quim if he set his mind to it.
Any statesmen we speak with are liable to resist our entreaties if they feel that what little power remains to them is at stake. They must be dealt with skillfully. I shall not repeat the errors of my past.
You know, one thing is that there should be another totem for doing Odin's
And what can I do for you?
trial.
An excellent choice. Come back again.
I mean, where would it be though? It would be like in here probably, right? We had Shiva's. It could be in this area. This is a restricted area of the map that probably will open up when I do some side quest or the other. As well as this here. I do remember that the trials do appear on the map before you actually reach them and activate them, so that's good. I'm just gonna quickly make a couple of pit stops at some of these shops.
Would you like to see my wares?
Just to make sure I have everything. Oh, dancing steel, cooldown. That's expensive.
Thanks. I'll take it off your hands. Thanks.
Hey, it's like all of my money. But I do want to have all the accessories anyway at some point. And I can always sell like most of these.
Go safely now. I have some things for sale.
Yeah, I can always sell the crafting materials.
I'll take it off your hands. Thanks. Anything else you don't want? Thanks. I'll take it off your hands. Thanks.
That's good for now.
Go
Back up
safely
to 60,000. There's no shop in East Pool, which means that the only shop. Oh, am I allowed to go here now? Anytime I want to? Then I'll go to Martha's Rest and check that shop for more songs. Man, I'm allowed to go back anytime I want to. That's kind of nice. That could make for a pretty interesting mark at some point. Like, I don't know how there would be a mark here, because that would be like someone would have to be here at my secret hideaway and then find the mark and then post about it. We've only visited this place in a cutscene, so let's like revisit it here. Just in case there's a drop or a treasure chest. And there isn't. Just this gorgeous view. Port Isolde. Rosaria Castle. What's that? Oh, okay. That is Phoenix Gate. Off in the distance. Alright, there's nothing here for me. Let's go to Martha's Rest, make sure that that shop doesn't have any new music. I know we had to come up with like 5 more music pieces in the shops and whatnot. And then we'll talk to Byron, finish the mission that we're currently on.
Anything catch your eye? That all, is it?
And then we will probably end the stream. I'm starting to get a little tired. Just about to cross midnight, streaming for 3 hours. You saved me a walk.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
I guess I did.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
So there were 2 quests that I
How,
needed to
pray
do.
tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding! He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Three's company indeed.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Sir Crandall is a fictional character in a play that lives in this world. Clive and Byron used to play out that play together back before the time skip, the first time skip. And interestingly, this accord kind of is like a unity between all three nations. If you think about Byron as being the representative of Rosaria, and Havel being the representative of Dalmekia, and Quentin would be the representative of Sambrek. Oh yeah, the game explicitly points that out, signed by the representative of those three. And then Heaven's Cloud, which I don't really use, but since I'm down here, may as well talk to the ferryman.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to, but the Argo and me will be waiting when you get back.
You mean that you can't row us over to the Flying Origin out in the ocean?
What do you think that thing is?
It's a damn distraction is what it is. Now back to work.
And how the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
Oh, you let me worry about that. Kind of getting into the rhythm of this. So now we talk to Byron and see what new dialogue options he has about the quest we just finished. We go over his inner thoughts.
While I admit I had my doubts at first, your man Quentin seems a reasonable sort. That and every moment he's talking instead of Havel, the better chance we'll have of setting things straight. You can trust in us, Clive, just as we trust in you. While I admit I had my doubts at first.
We have new music. We're down to missing 1, 2. There are 2 more songs to buy. And I'm not quite sure where we'll find them. We need to find some time for doing the inner thoughts of other side characters
What will
that
it be today? What
we
is
don't
it that you
currently
wish
have
to
quests
learn?
for.
Of course.
This is Byron. He should be up here. Here he is. Nice, he has a nice little short one. Alright, he was secretly giving funds to the shields. Yep. And his brother Elwyn, my father. My dear nephew, he's alive. A woman of unspeakable cruelty. That is definitely true. My, how you've grown. You've become quite the beauty. Very nice. I'd have liked to have shared his company. May you speed the people of Valisthea to safety. Charming fellow. Yeah, he snuck aboard into the hideaway. Your favorite uncle has come to visit. He's definitely a favorite of mine. You get what you deserved. Your father will be proud of you. Besieged in Camber. He didn't have any thoughts with anyone at that point. Every good man has a good squire. And really, I don't know. Oscar does not seem like he's that important. Everyone has like thoughts about him. Let us leave and rove like reeve and rove like outlaws should. I don't even know what those words mean. I know reeve has something to do with like reaver, like collect, but I don't know what rove is. You two have fun now. This girl needs to learn a little decorum. There's not a way to like, I don't know, because like if you zoom out too much, then it becomes impossible to read because the bubbles go away. But like if you bring the text to the edge, it gets really fuzzy. Like they've got some sort of filter on it so you can't actually read it. So it needs to be centered. He hasn't really changed his thoughts too much. I await your orders. To get to meet you again is a dream. You need to rest, my boy. Keep Clive safe. We shall free you from that blackguard's clutches. It was he who freed us from danger. Bloodthirsty. What god would create such fiends as the Akashic? True, true. Though I have 2 dominance for nephews, I shan't be outdone. Joshua has found a rare friend in him. My nephew needs your age. Your aid. Oh yeah, right. Because Eugene Havel has actually... I wasn't able to do this quest until just now, though. That's kind of interesting. Did we meet previously? Maybe we've met previously, and I just hadn't really paid attention. When your child is born, we must celebrate in style. I see Clive also has a personal physician. That is not what Thea does. Of Karen, he thinks perhaps the most mercenary of this mercenary band. She does seem rather taken with Joshua. Of course, the uncle would think that. My nephew's nemesis. Came back to us, or come back to us, is what they want. Don't be gone too long. I bid you command our armies, if you think you can handle that. Treasure converters for a cause, yeah, okay. I did forget to actually go over what he thought about himself. I your nephew's alive. Haha, pillaging we will go. So this is the famous hideaway. I feel like a young man again. Must support my nephew's endeavors in any way I can. And then he was besieged in Camber. We went to rescue him. Stand ready to do anything that is asked of me. When I return, it shall be with an army at my back. And he was not wrong. Godspeed you, Enterprise. I trust my friends, and Randala does not find himself overly stretched. And hold on, Clive, I'm coming. And didn't I promise you an army? He definitely did. He definitely followed through on that. May the triunity bring peace and order to this fractured realm. That was very pleasant. I enjoyed that one. He's like just barely not a main character. Like, these are main characters, and then he's kind of important, very major, but not a main character. He's a pretty major character. He's actually been in my party a couple of times. So like Gav, Byron, Dion, we've actually had them like fight alongside us. Sid we had in our party for a while as well. We've had the opportunity to fight with Otto, but I think that we chose Gav instead. I didn't know that we would later on have Gav more often as options to be in our party. Otherwise I would have chosen Otto. But maybe because I chose Gav, you know, Final Fantasy games are known for having like hidden affinity values with characters, and it just like slightly changes dialogue and story beats and like who goes with you in certain cutscenes and how endings play out. So I'm curious to see how all that gets done. Because there were a couple of missions where I was told to choose one of two characters to help me. Also, something worth talking about is the fact that in order to do this mission, not only did I have to finish Quentin's mission, but I also had to finish that other mission.
Thus ends today's lesson.
Smooth like Butler. I think that was the one. Yeah. So, you know, if I didn't do those quests, maybe we wouldn't be able to finish this quest, and then who knows how things would have gone.
How are you doing? Quick look.
Next time. That's what, 80?
Think you can help?
How far off are we from?
How may I help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just
Patron's
desserts?
Whisper? 300 more? That's quite a bit.
Best of luck out there,
I think that
Sid.
is the final one, though. That's 80 from that, and then there's probably 30 from each of these. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quests. How many did we do just now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did 6 quests after spending an hour not doing quests, and we also found some marks. So we should probably be able to finish all the side quests next time. I think we should be able to do that.
Coincides hundreds of leagues away.
So next time I will set it up as a side quest session. That'll be probably Wednesday's stream, maybe Monday's stream. I don't know, it's easy to do a 3-hour stream on Friday, right? It's a little more difficult to do 3 hours on Monday or Tuesday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 more side quests left, and there are also 8 more souvenirs missing from here. Maybe I'll just do Final Fantasy tomorrow. I mean, we gotta do some Unite tomorrow, because we haven't done Unite in forever. It's been 2 weeks since the last stream. And there's like 5 million quests going on right now. So we'll definitely do Unite tomorrow. We might do 2. Maybe we'll do 2. I don't know. Star Rail's on Sunday. Yeah, I'll try to make Monday work for this game. Get all the side quests done, do all the cutscenes, find all the marks. I should be able to tell if there are marks in the future by looking in the region area. I feel like there should at least be one more S rank boss that we have to fight. There might be like one more. Alright, so the plan for the rest of the weekend. Tomorrow afternoon we'll do Pokemon Unite. We'll go for like 3 or 4 hours. We'll cross the reset, so it may start around like 4, so that resets at 6, so then we'll maybe end at 7 or 8. Sunday will be Star Rail. Sunday Star Rail. There's been a thing for a while. I'm very excited to do that. I've gotten a lot more powerful than the last time I was on stream. I think I may have gained like 20 levels. And I need to rush the story in that game so that I don't run out of things to do off stream. And then Monday should be Final Fantasy. We'll do side quests. Tuesday will be Super Smash Brothers. Wednesday should be Final Fantasy, which will likely be more side quests. And then Thursday is more Smash, and then I think this is actually a pretty good idea. So if I do only like a couple of the side quests, if I do 4 side quests on Monday, so that'll be a somewhat short stream, maybe like 2 hours, an hour and a half, and then I do 4 side quests on Wednesday, then I'll have all the side quests done, and then Friday we can do the story session finale. So about this, a week from now. I don't think that I have anything special going on that day. That'll be the 23rd. Actually, I kind of do have something special going on that day. I have a house guest visiting me, but maybe it'll be, after she's gone to bed. Or maybe my wife will just entertain her, and I can just kind of sneak away and do my own thing. We'll see. I haven't really thought it out too much. Oh wait, no. It's past midnight. It'll actually be the 22nd. Wonderful. I won't have a house guest. So next Friday, Final Fantasy finale. We're going to beat the game. Yeah, I think I really like that strategy. That's going to be a good schedule. So that's the plan. I'm going to try to make sure that I do those Monday and Wednesday streams because I want to have all the side quests out of the way for the finale on Friday. And yeah, so be sure to subscribe if you're interested in that stuff. Click the notification bell, all that jazz. Come back next Friday for the finale. And if you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to leave a like. I'm going to head to bed now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and goodbye.